Hi everyone, my name is Melody Myers and my career presentation will be on crime scene investigator. The educational requirements for this profession is that you have to have a minimum of a bachelor's degree in forensic science or natural science, biology, chemistry, um, an extensive background in mathematics, a history of completing a criminal justice class or two. Experience in the field is preferred. And what I mean by experience is not necessarily, you have having a job, but if you had an internship, that qualifies as experience in the field as well. And in certain supervisory positions, it is required that you have a master's degree. Some personal requirements is a keen eye for detail. This being so is because you are required to notice the smallest change, in a crime scene. You have to have superb critical thinking skills, excellent communication skills, because a lot of times you are not only are you communicating to law enforcement officials or to your colleagues, but you are oftentimes called as an expert witness on the stand. And you have to have problem solving skills. And this is true because the evidence isn't always presented to you, it isn't always cut and dry. There are a lot of times where you have to infer, you have to think, you have to figure out motives or figure out why things happen the way they did. The basic responsibilities of a crime scene investigator is to collect and tag evidence at the crime scene, analyze evidence usually in a lab setting. So after you collected it and tagged the evidence at the crime scene, and when you collect it, it doesn't necessarily mean always picking up and putting it in a bag. It could also mean taking pictures, sketches, and then you take the stuff back to the lab where you analyze it in greater detail. And then your next step is to document the findings in a report. And after you document the findings in an extensive report, you communicate these findings, usually in court, or to your counterparts, or to your supervisor, to law enforcement officials. The salary compensation for this job, the average annual salary in 2013 was reported as $54,360. Depending on the specialization, the salary may be higher. Florida and California are known to pay higher wages for this profession. I've added a table so you can see that, in certain percentiles is where how much you'll get paid anyway. The pros to this job is that you're aiding in bringing justice is rewarding. It's a rewarding feeling to know that you have aided in helping to bring a criminal, a murderer to justice. Another pro is that it's entry level requirements, which means that you don't necessarily have to go through so much schooling to have a rewarding job. The minimum requirement, as I said, is a bachelor's degree. And another pro is that it never gets boring. There's always something to do. With technology advancing and things, the world evolving, there's always new things to learn. There's always new things to find. There's always new ways and inventive ways to do your job. So, and like I said, there's always crime. So it never gets boring. The cons is that your work hours can be grueling. Sometimes you're called in the crime scenes. You're expected to be the first responder to the crime scene in order to maintain the integrity of the crime scene. Sometimes you're working overtime, late hours, night hours, because it's a time sensitive matter. Another con is that you often walk into grisly crime scenes where someone could have been murdered, brutally murdered, and you're expected to have a strong stomach and you cannot be faint at heart. And another con, well, some people see as con, is that you're routinely called as an expert witness. Oftentimes, people do not like speaking in front of, larger audiences, but you are given the task or the responsibility to be able to communicate your findings in a professional and accurate and detailed and effective manner so that all parties, the defense, the prosecution, the people in the judge, the bailiff, those who are a part of the criminal justice process are able to understand. And last but not least, here are some fun facts. Crime scene investigators are also known as forensic science technicians. Many people didn't know that. Despite its reputation, Forensic science is only the second best method of identifying criminals. Expert witnesses is the first best method of identifying criminals. Forensic science is often used to shed some light on cold cases or past cases that were previously declared unsolvable. Oftentimes, forensic science technicians or crime scene investigators use DNA evidence, or they go back into cold case files and re examine the evidence to sometimes either exonerate certain people, bring certain people to justice. And another fun fact is that testing takes longer than it does on TV. I know we all watch Law and Order and SVU and Crime Scene Investigation and CSI and NCIS and all these crime shows, and it seems as if they solve a crime in a matter of days or a matter of a day. It doesn't work like that in the real world. Testing takes way longer, sometimes years, sometimes months. A lot of times you have to piece the evidence together. You don't get it handed to you. But it seems that it is a rewarding experience to be a crime scene investigator. Thank you.